Whether you're at home by yourself wishing you tell that special someone your feelings, right beside your significant other after an expensive date, or completely apathetic towards the muss and fuss of Valentine's Day, stick around here for a little while and we'll have some stories I'm sure you'll love. Good morning, good day, and good evening to all you wonderful folks out there. I'm your host, Jason Watermark, and I'm here to tell you about some real fake news. Today's stories are centered around the day of love, heartbreak, and those chalky heart-shaped candies that aren't amazing, but are good enough to eat once a year. First up, a man marries a jar of peanut butter. Peter Jorgenbacher decided he was too tired of looking for love at the ripe old age of 24. After years of swiping and sliding into various DMs, he decided to call it quits after a good look in the mirror. He could see behind himself an open pantry, and when he went to close it, his then 2-year-old jar of peanut butter caught his gaze. He's been quoted in many interviews as saying, "The jar was looking real sexy," and he appreciated how it was never gonna give him up, never gonna let him down, never gonna run around and desert him, unless it rolls off. His mistake. Now, this couple goes by the ship name Pete Nut Butter online. Obviously, he brings the Pete, but does he also bring the nut or the butt to the relationship? So if you're feeling lonely and need someone or something to cuddle with, why don't you take a second look in your pantry? Maybe that unopened box of cereal will start looking real tasty real soon. Next up, dogs. No longer man's best friend? This might be some rough news for those of you out there who love dogs, but they may have found someone new to roll over to. People in first world nations are reporting that their dogs no longer listen to them, and when they come home, they don't even wag their tails. Dog whisperers are working hard to understand why this is happening, but when they communicate with our once loyal canine companions, all they receive is the ancient proverb, "It's not you, it's me." What you might not expect is what others are suggesting the culprit is: automated trash cans. Tech companies these days are creating trash cans with the capabilities of acting as a space heater, charging electronics, posting to social media, and worst of all, feeding your pets. Owners of both fluffy ones and highly advanced trash cans are saying that these machines are more lovable to dogs because they don't have to leave them alone to do things like eat, sleep, and bathe, and they're always around to feed them. But before you go deciding that you have a bone to pick with these trash cans, just remember they have a very expensive price at $5 million US. So if you don't have one, don't buy one. And if you do, make sure the garbage people take it with them when they leave. An unsinkable relationship. Katrina Dachauer and Leona de Wyssen decided to get married on the cruise ship where they met 12 years ago. At the time, both were 16, and they were meeting as part of a teens club, one of those places that combines horny teenagers with 13-year-olds who won't shut up. Sometimes they're the same. After a night of onboard adventures, the two decided they were meant to be together, and they've been that way ever since. But days before the wedding, tragedy struck. The navigator of the ship was busy eating iceberg lettuce and distracted while on the job. They brought the ship too close to the side of another ruined ship. The port side collided, and the two went overboard into the waters below. Fortunately, amongst the wreckage were piles of wood floating. Katrina managed to swim over to the wood and stay above the frigid waters below. But unlike a selfish bitch, she pulled Leona onto the wood alongside her, and both managed to stay afloat for an hour until the rescue team arrived. They invited the rescue team to their wedding, and they happily accepted. The two are now married and living happily ever after. Those are the stories we have for this week. I've been your host, Jason Watermark. This has been some real fake news, and I'll see you next time.